Greetings everyone, a warm welcome to you all. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for your reading for July. Leo the Lion, King of the Beasts, this is your reading. We'll use these three different decks of cards and three cards from each. But before we start, I did some intuitive work for you. And you guys received the Ten of Wands reversed. Now that sort of means endings of something. And it can sometimes be in career related matters or feeling upside down. Something about being upside down and possibly about your career. So things maybe not being as you have perceived or wanted to. Also the colour blue and communication. Possibly that also means the throat chakra area of your body as well. So not sure what's going on there for you guys, Leo, but let's take a look. I think that July does have some eclipses coming, so it can be quite a potent month, especially for some star signs, like more than others. Eclipses generally give us a lot of activation and directional impulse, if you like. So this is for Leo. What's in store for July for Leo? Okay. Caring connections, contract, and door to value. There's a lot of gold and yellowy hues in those three colours, so that's kind of a nice colour, the gold and the yellow. Very much about gut instincts, the solar plexus chakra, energy, strength. And there's the contract, which can often be associated with work or careers. And of course the door to value is finances usually. The third eye chakra, suffering in silence, which is the Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, which is positive movement forward. Again, this is about money. So two things aligning here about money for you guys. Leo for July. The Empress, the Page of Rods, and the Strength card. So let me just move this so that we can be in focus, or so that you can see all of the cards. They can't be in focus for all three rows or layers, so we'll work through it as we do the reading. We will probably be reading down this way through the columns. However, bear in mind that any messages that come are easily added to or crossed over to other messages, so take them as you feel they best fit your particular situation or issue that you are looking at. The first one is up on the top, caring connections, which is a little bit like the Lovers card, and then under that the third eye chakra, which is that area between your brow, and then we have the Empress down here. There's quite a lot in that row there that indicates romances or relationships, because this Empress is often in that kind of mode as well. She bodes the heart energy, with the heart sitting in the middle. She is very much voluptuous and sensuous, and you know, everybody dreams to have someone like this around them because they're so gentle and loving and supportive and nurturing. They do exude feminine energies, but that doesn't always mean it has to be a female. It can just be a male who is showing their feminine side. So there is a possibility for some of you that new romances are coming in. These could be soulmates, or, well, to be fair, all relationships in life are soulmates. Some are more intense than others. So this could be a more intense soulmate connection. It could also be a possibility to an enlightening relationship coming that could be involved with a kind of a twin flame energy or synergy, creating some awareness within you or raising your frequency or vibration. If it's not a new relationship that's coming. This can be the reharmonizing of already existing relationships or taking them to a new level of love and harmony and happiness. Both of those cards, the Empress and the Caring Connections, bode very well for relationship status. There's another thing that the Caring Connections can represent, and this is the formation of new businesses or business opportunities. So this could be on the cards for some of you as well. I talked a little bit about the beginning that we had this feeling of being upside down around possible career issues or how you're feeling in your working life or your passion life, things that you're passionate about, such as hobbies. There's a possibility that you are looking at reinventing the wheel or having something new go on or readdressing a certain situation or going back to it or trying to turn it back around from feeling upside down. The third eye chakra, given that it's in between your two eyes, some of you may be finding psychic or intuitive awareness or abilities or quite intense dreams. It might be a really good time to keep a dream journal. You could find some answers come to you in your dreams. Others of you might find this a spiritual awakening or a spiritual connection, which is very much like these two cards. So there's this kind of spirituality going on in between the whole relationship perspective. I do feel for some of you there's a really warm, caring, supportive energy around you that is almost uplifting you to this feeling of spirituality. So it may not necessarily be a passionate, lusty, physical connection. It feels deeper. It feels as though there's more support or caring or nurturing, and that's what can come from a very deep soulmate connection or this twin flame energy happening. Also, with that third eye chakra, some of you may have problems with that part of your head. You may experience headaches or strange sensations through that part of your head as well. This could possibly be due to sometimes activation in that area, along that spiritual realm or the esoteric energy that's coming in or downloads that are happening to you. But for others it might be more of a physical issue. Some of you may need your eyes seen to, you might need your glasses adjusted if you have glasses, or if you don't have glasses you may be getting them. Some of you may have like a bone out in the top of your neck that may be causing discomfort and headaches, or something to do with your ears even, because all of that part of our head is all connected. So there could be something about listening as well. And I did mention communication, so perhaps that's tied up in there. We see down here with the Empress this moon, so I think the reference of the moon is probably with the eclipses happening in July, would seem to have a relevance. So perhaps there is a certain circumstance or situation or something you're waiting on that will happen in and around this timing of the eclipses. It is usually a journey that starts and takes us forward. Now, given it's in July, it could take you forward even into next year, so a starting event that will be moving forward. If we look into this next line and we see the 6 up on the top, which is the contract, then the 9 of swords, and then the page of rods, the top and bottom card can be very much aligned to our careers, or if you're not a working person, as I said before, the things that you're passionate about or the things that you spend your time now doing. So the contract can literally be that you are signing into some sort of contract. So there may very well be an offer coming to you that you are contemplating or considering. And as I say, this can be connected to career or working possibilities. So when I said before it was feeling as though it was upside down, your career, perhaps some of you are literally changing direction. Some of you may be offered something that you least expected. Some of you may have been applying for something that you really wanted and have had to change directions or change the way you were approaching it or something along those lines. The other thing with the contract that I often think of is there are legal contracts that come to mind, so whether or not you have to sign a legal document. This could be a mortgage, it could be something to do with the law, it could be attending a hearing or a lawyer's event or a judge or something along those lines. There's also the possibility that a contract can be a relationship contract with a person. So this could be suggestive of again, coming along to this one here, the caring connections, and this one, the fact that there might be some new contract being formed. And sometimes, again, these are contracts we've made before we come in here. So these are like spiritual contracts with these soul people or with these twin flame activations. So that contract card could be much more of the physical realm and dealing with careers or jobs or legal issues or the purchase of a house or the sale of something, and you have to sign a document or a contract. Or it could be dealing at a very, very high end part of your spiritual evolution. We come back to this one here, the Nine of Swords, and it's suffering and silence. This can often turn up when we've been a little bit overworked or over anxious, or feeling though we're not in control of something. It can often mean insomnia, things that happen at night, the inability to sleep properly. It can also mean lots of dreams coming, which we've already talked about before, and the need to keep a dream journal, which could be really beneficial because there's two of the same messages coming through for you. It tends to be kind of self-inflicted. It's about learning to manage your anxieties or fears or worries or panics or feelings of depression or feeling, overwhelmed or overburdened. So there's so many ways that this can be addressed, and every single person tends to be able to uplift a certain therapy in their own manner. Some people like meditation, some people would rather take medication, some people change their diet, some people go and see a counsellor or a psychologist, some people lock themselves away for a while and just spend time alone. So for every individual it's different. But it does suggest that this could be a time when you need to pay attention to being overwhelmed or feeling as though there's a little bit too much in the background, and slow things down a bit and make sure you get enough rest, and make sure you are addressing your body with the right types of foods and nurture. We come down here to the Page of Rods, and he again is this possibility of a new opportunity coming, especially around a job. Now often he will turn up when you get a job offer coming in. So if any of you have been applying and you have your CV out there, or you're wanting to attend interviews, it's quite likely that at this particular point in time this could happen, and this can subsequently go on to be offered a new job. So I do feel for you Leos that your career is playing on your mind, and that there are changes coming one way or another for different reasons. But there's also this relationship thing going on in the background. Some of you might even find that your relationship is somehow tied to your career, or that this might be the possibility of a new business formation with a new partnership that is an amazing relationship as well. So there's all this cohesive workings going on in these cards. The daughter value on the top right hand side is, again, when this card turns up, it's very, very suggestive of being offered a job. Like, especially if you haven't had one or you haven't been earning much money, this is quite often an indicator that you will be offered more money, like more than you've been earning. It can also be in reference to receiving a loan, or the notification that a loan has been approved one way or another. It can be an inheritance, it can be a windfall. It can be winning some money at lotto, or having someone loan you some money, maybe even without interest charges. So it's a great card to get, and it, as I say, it often does refer to career-related resonance around money and opportunities. And then you've got this one here, the positive movement forward, and that's the Eight of Pentacles, which is considered a very fortuitous card in any of the decks that you look at. In the traditional decks, I often refer to this card as representing a possible physical realignment that needs to occur, because there's a picture of a guy sitting down with working on coins in the traditional card, and there's a couple of coins off on the floor. And I often say it makes me think of the back, or pains in the back, or needing relief in the lower chakra areas of our body. So this line directly through here talks to me quite a lot about the physical body for you guys as well. Well, for some of you anyhow. So there could be a misalignment, especially up your back, from either the top of your neck and down to the base of your spine. Some of you might be advised to go to a chiropractor and have that, you know, where they manipulate your back and it creaks and groans and snaps into place, because some of your chakras might be blocked, which might be creating this fear in the middle. So it's almost like you've got a blockage at the top and one at the bottom, which is not allowing free flow of energy and information. So it's getting stuck in the middle. And when it does that and flows round and round, it creates anxiety, because energy needs to go places. It can't just recycle and recycle around and around in the middle. So I think there's a definite message for some of you about freeing up various parts of your body and various chakras so that you get more flow and more activation coming in. And I think if you do that, you will actually find manifestation comes to you a lot easier as well. But coming back to the other perspective of this card, it is very positive, and it can again be symptomatic of saying a financial increase or implement, or it's telling you also that your dedicated hard work and knowledge and understanding of the craft that you do in particular is paying dividends, that you're respected in your workplace, that you have knowledge and acumen, and that you do a good job. So there's those kind of resonant energies behind that card as well. This also definitely talks about movement forward. Some of you may be traveling, you may be on a boat, and if it's not the physical sort of travel, it is definitely the metaphysical, or travel at the metaphysical level is what I'm thinking of. We come to your last card down the bottom, and it is number 8. So you've got 2 8s there in a row as well, which is quite a nice synchronicity. So the number 8 may play a role for you, and given that this is the reading for July, maybe August has more significance one way or another, the 8th month, or maybe 8 weeks. Also, number 8 is the karmic number. That often makes me think of definitely intense soulmate relationships. They're coming back in for a karmic reason, to learn a lesson or to have a situation replayed out again and healed this time around. So the number 8 also often indicates financial benevolence. So you've got 2 8s in that row and the daughter value. So it's a mighty row of suggesting some sort of finances and prosperity and manifestation. The strength card itself talks about physical strength and emotional strength. So if some of you have been weakened over something previously, whether it was ill health physically or emotionally, and we've seen a little bit of that up here, it feels as though strength will come back to you, possibly through the physical manifestation of prowess and finances and feeling strong and connected and safe, but also from the emotional perspective as well. So if you felt deflated, or if you felt as though something was disconnected in your life, it's blending back in, it's weaving its magic back in, a little bit like re-sewing fabric together, you know, that's been torn apart and you patch it together again. It's kind of like that scenario. So the strength card often talks to us about if you need to use any strength at any time, it is better not for it to be physical attempts in a relationship or a situation or any provocation. It is far better to use your intelligence or your mental swiftness and to hold your emotions in check and to use intelligent conversation. So that's what the strength card also means. It means not buckling under the pressure of emotions and going all wild into a situation and fighting back at something. It means calming a situation down and being able to tame the beautiful Leo, the lion, king of the beasts. So that was rather nice too, that it's your last card that's come out, and it is the beautiful lion being held in the arms of this very loving, supportive person who holds strength as well at the same time. So there you are, Leos. I think it's a neat reading for you. Plenty to think about, but lots of positive opportunity, both in the realms of love and relationships and finances. So a lot of people wouldn't ask for anything more than that. They'd be very, very happy. So thanks for tuning in. Remember to check your moon and rising signs as well, because there could be some good significant messages in there for you to absorb as well. I love reading your comments when you leave them, and thanks for liking the video and subbing as well. Wishing you all a wonderful happy July. Much love. Namaste.